Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is going to be the abuser. And it's horrible because people that are in relationships with people that beat you, it's very hard. When you're on the outside and you're looking in on what's going on, it's hard to understand that person's point of view. Like, why are they staying in that relationship if he beats her or she beats him? Because there's a lot of women that do beat up their boyfriends or husbands. So this does work both ways. But it's different when you're on the outside looking in, because when you're in that relationship, the abuser has ways of manipulating you so well. You either are afraid of them, or you've been brainwashed and you're just used to it. And the abuser can be physical as well as verbally abusive. In my past relationships, I was dating an older guy, which would have been illegal at that time. I don't know why I was dating the guy. And I think I was like 15 and he was 20. Which is another reason why I did the whole online predator video. I was under the age dating an older guy who was physically and verbally abusive. Like I said, I'm not mentioning any names. I used to be cornered up in like against the wall, and I had really bad asthma growing up, and he would punch the wall, like pin me up against the wall, and he would punch the wall right next to my face so that I could go into an asthma attack and start hyperventilating, and then he would laugh at me. But I saw that guy for about 2 years, and I don't know, when you're in that relationship, it just feels like, because they verbally abuse you, it's difficult because they make you feel like nobody else is gonna love you and you should be happy with what you have, that I can tolerate you, you disgusting, vile person, because no one else will touch you with a 10-foot pole, so be grateful. That's the mentality that you have of what they tell you and why you put up with it. At least that's what it was for me. It's like they brainwash you. And a lot was taken from me and that part of my life. But yeah, when I left that person, I had to run out of their house, and there was a policeman down the road who was watching and didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. And as I was crying, walking down the sidewalk, walking home, he was driving in his car and getting things from his car and throwing them at me and calling me, "You fucking whore," and like just degrading me. And then they'll say something mean and then say something nice. Like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. I had a bad day," and blah, 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 blah. And then what's horrible with all relationships, this is how it works, is there's the argument. Then you make up and you go through the honeymoon stage to where everything is great and happy, you make up, and then it starts all over again. So it's a never-ending cycle. But enough was enough. I walked out of that relationship. Even like I had been punched in the face. It was the first time that I fought back. I punched him. He punched me. I remember trying to run out of the house, and he knocked me down, and I don't know how, I ended up getting out of the house and running down the street, and then that's when he was throwing all these things at me. And then I ran to the closest payphone and I called my mom crying, and she picked me up. And then like that wasn't the end of it. Trust me, if you are dating an abuser, if you walk out, that is not the end of it. I say stay with your friends, stay with your family, don't be alone. Depending on what type of abuser they are, yes, safety in numbers is the best way, because this guy, I'm probably gonna have to do different videos for each kind of thing, but this guy would drive by my house. He vandalized my parents' cars. I had to get a restraining order on him. Yeah, you don't even like, but yeah, so, and I was young. I was still in high school when all this happened, but you have to look at the whole situation and realize, like, it took me a very long time, and if I would have heard this somebody tell me this at that age, then I would have listened, because I was so miserable for that time of my life. I was horribly miserable. Imagine, like, you're seeing this guy that you're supposedly in love with, or this girl that you're in love with, and the way that they love you is by beating the shit out of you. And I don't know, like, I don't know. That's the abuser. But sometimes the abuser also comes with the controller, because the abuser will try to separate you, so that way if your friends are saying, why are you with that person that's like beating the crap out of you, then they have to flip the switch and tell you they're your enemy. Why do they, I mean, I make you happy. They just want to take away your happiness. So you need to stop talking to that person. I had this guy try to eliminate all of my friends, would get mad at me when I was with my family, and they just try to separate you. But hopefully this reaches somebody out there that don't put up with it. A smack on the face, a punch, a hit, a kick in the kidney, anything. Yeah, I've been kicked in my gut before, but that is not love. That is not love. And you can do better, whether you're a guy or a girl. If you are dating an abuser, I say get out, and it's safety in numbers. So if you are afraid of this person, stay with friends or family if need be. What I did was I would even call 911, and when I was on the phone with 911, he kept calling and calling and calling and calling. And they can't do anything with constant callers. It has to have, if the abuser tries to get in contact with you, if they leave you voicemails, threatening voicemails or threatening text messages, do not delete them, because the police need some sort of proof or evidence that this person has the intent to harm you. If it's just harassment, then they can do nothing. So that's why I'm saying, if you have to change your number, do it. If you have to move, if you're older, if you have to move, do it. I've moved before to get rid of a guy. But this is just kind of what I'm going to touch base on with the abuser. So I'm going to have to do this in segments, because these are really long stories. So if you want to see the second part of this, I guess, little series that I'm gonna do, then I should be uploading that one very soon. But thanks for watching, and love you guys, and stay safe. Bye.